Hey yeah bro, welcome back to another video in the Snow White channel. Today we're gonna be doing an oil change on a 428i F32 F30 N20 N26 platform, regardless of the car it's in. Excuse my hair, it's crazy. What I would recommend, always make sure you change your oil. The dealership recommends 10,000. Your car usually will give you an alert at 7,000, 7,500. If you're tuned, if you're high mileage, if you want to keep the car for so long, I would recommend doing it between 3,000 and 5,000. 3,000 for tuned people just like myself. I am tuned, so any BMW that's tuned 3,000 miles, change your oil. This is just, it's another 50 bucks. It's basically your subscription of keeping the car alive, or else don't be complaining if your BMW is not reliable. They are very reliable cars. You just need to be able to take care of them properly. So without further ado, make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Let's get straight to it. Alright, so first we're gonna start with what do we need for the oil change. Obviously we need oil, we need the oil filter and all the gaskets that come with the oil filter. So this is what I'm gonna be using today. We're looking at Liqui Moly 5W30 SAE Special Tech. This is the first time I use this specific oil. I usually use just Liqui Moly 5W30 in the winter time, and I use 5W40 in the summertime just for the thickness of the oil. I searched up the SAE. This just means that it's certified by the dealership. Special Tech BFE, all this. To be honest, I don't know what all that means. I just read about it. Some people said that it is certified and whatever it is. Some people said it's just a bunch of letters and numbers just for the dealerships to put their mark on it and to make it expensive. Either way, I've only heard good things about it, or neutral things. So it is still 5W30. That's all I care about, and it's Liqui Moly. So that's what I'm going to be using. I also like to use K&N filters. I know you guys saw in my turbo video that I've used the K&N filter, and I also used Liqui Moly. But now this video is dedicated only for the oil change. I'm going to go through everything that you do. I'm not going to go quick in the turbo video. I just went really quick with it. K&N for N20 N26 engine is HP7014, and you can find it in Advanced Auto, or you can buy it from online. It doesn't matter. And obviously before I work, I need to change because I am wearing white, so we're going to do that now. Alright, guess it wasn't that bad. Let's get straight to it. Alright guys, so first things first, obviously we're going to take the oil cap off. Place this to the side. Don't drop anything in there. You will take the engine apart. Just don't do it. Don't even think about it and try it. Don't do it. Then once this off, you're going to have to raise up the car so we can access the drain plug from under. Alright guys, so you raise the car, make sure you have jack stand under, and just give the car a nice tug. I would rather the car fall on the floor than fall on me, and safety first. Now let's get started with unbuckling everything. Alright guys, so here's the drain plug over here. It's right next to it, right in the middle. There's gonna be this little oval hole. The drain plug is right here. We're gonna use a 17mm socket. Me and I recommend to use a short one, because if you use a long one, you risk it being stripped. Make sure that you're taking it off. You don't want to over tighten it, and you're gonna give it. Alright, once you break it loose with the ratchet, do everything else by hand. What I would do is I spin until I see that it's about to come off. I keep spinning as I'm putting pressure into it, so you don't ruin your hand in oil. And then you keep spinning, and then you're gonna see it's gonna start dripping in a little bit. Once it is about to come off and you see oil coming out, keep putting pressure into it. Alright, and then you let go right away, so it's not too messy. I only got a little bit of oil in my hand. You always gotta make sure that this off with it. This is a gasket that you put in your oil drain plug. You have to replace this one every single time you change the oil, and you're gonna let that chill until it comes all the way off. Another tip, I like to use these blue towels, the blue shop towels. They're really good at absorbing a lot of grease, oil, whatever it is. It's really good at absorbing stuff, so I would really recommend getting some, especially if you're working a lot on a car. You can either get a 1, or I usually get a 6-pack. It's cheaper from Walmart or AutoZone or whatever it is, but they're very helpful. So we're gonna dry off our drain plug. This is the gasket I was talking about. You get another one in the oil filter box. Either way, whether it's K&N, Mobile, whenever it is, you always get a bunch of gaskets. 2 gaskets go into the oil filter housing, and the third one, which is the metal one, that goes in the oil drain plug. I like to make sure everything is dry before I put it back on. So when I do, if there's any leakage or anything, I can see it because it's supposed to be dry and it's not. Before I take off the filter housing, I always like to take off my filter, take all the gaskets out. So this box comes with the filter itself, obviously, and it comes with this bag. This bag is really important, has all the gaskets. So big gasket that goes around the oil filter housing, small gasket that goes into the nozzle that you set the filter on it, the gasket that goes around the drain plug. Alright, so we're gonna change our oil filter housing. As I mentioned in the turbo video, this is aftermarket one. The OEM one, you're gonna have to buy a special tool for it. I have the BMS one. When you tune these cars, they usually run hotter than they should. So any plastic pieces that are exposed to too much heat usually don't want to crack, just like the charge pipe, the boost pipe, and also another one will be the oil filter housing itself. So I did switch it to the BMS metal one. You can get it in different colors. I chose red just because. So it is a 19mm socket. 19mm socket. Alright, once you break it loose, you would want to get a couple of shop towels and keep them right here just in case you drop anything. You don't want to drop any oil in your engine bay. I would recommend doing this job when the car is cooled down, but if you didn't have time to cool it down just like me, it's okay. Not the end of the world. Just don't burn yourself doing anything that I wouldn't do. This is why we have the shop towels there. Always make sure to clean up after yourself. You don't want anything lingering. Here's the old K&N filter. I put a K&N last time as well. That's what the filter looks like when it comes out. Whenever you're changing it, you always want to inspect inside the filter itself. Make sure you don't find any metal shavings, because that would be an indication that your engine is failing. Mine is clean. There's nothing shining in there. It will just be like little glitter shining pieces. My oil is clean. Another indication as well, you would check the oil that's draining down under from the drain plug. That will also be a thing. You can get a magnet, drop it in there if there's any shavings in there, or visually you can see it if anything is shining. You should inspect it, make sure it's just only like oil bubbles, there's not any metal shavings, and that's how you know your engine is healthy. And that's the difference between the old filter and the new filter. Same company, same everything. So drain plug, I'm gonna install the drain plug gasket in it, and then you have a gasket here, you have a gasket here. You need to replace these two with the new ones. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna get a pick tool. You can put the new ones in there. Alright, so once you exchange the gaskets, you're gonna dip your finger in there, get some oil, lubricate this one, and then get some oil. Make sure to also lubricate the outer one. I was inspecting this this piece as well. In the OEM filter housing, this piece is not going to be moving like that, but this is aftermarket. You have to snap it from the old one, put it in the new one. So always make sure to look inside, make sure the spring is there and everything is intact, it's not broken. If it is broken, you can also change it. FCP Euro. The oil filter housing is not that expensive, it's like 20 bucks, and you can take this piece out from it. Now we're gonna install the filter and plug it all the way in, and we're gonna reinstall the oil filter housing, put it inside. There might be still a little bit of oil in there. It's not the end of the world. It's only like, I don't know, a couple of ounces. It's not crazy. It all drains from the bottom. If you can read here, it says it's 25 Newton meters of torque, but either way, once it stops, it stops. It is metal on metal, so. Stops. So, alright guys, so by the time we finish everything on top, this should be just dripping slowly, so we're gonna install it by hand. Alright, just push it all the way in by hand. You're gonna get your towels. You're gonna make sure everything is dry. Once you push it in by hand, you're gonna get your ratchet. You're gonna make sure it's on. A tip that I learned, hold it from here. Don't hold it from the top here. Don't put any leverage on it. Hold it from here and spin until it's on. Once it stops, it stops. That's it. Do not hold it from here. If you put leverage on it, you will strip it in. You will mess up your oil pan, and that's a very expensive job to do. It's either very expensive and very hard. Don't do it. All right. Alright guys, so once you finish the oil and you put everything in it, you're gonna get into your car. So you are not gonna press the brakes, you're just gonna press on the start stop button. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, you're gonna get this screen. Once you get the screen, once everything stops moving, you're gonna go on this button, you're gonna hold it. Once you see the trip goes to 0, you're gonna continue to hold. And it's gonna give you the option screen. Alright, engine oil, you're gonna hold set reset option. You're gonna hold it to select yes. It's gonna ask you reset, you're gonna hold again for yes. And it's gonna reset in progress. Alright, reset successful. As you guys see, it shows 7,000 miles. I do not recommend 7,000, just do it every 3,000. Me and my vehicle check is also on. I do my own vehicle check, so let's do that as well. Let's reset that. Same thing. Don't worry, I don't have an engine light. It's because the car is not on, so that's why it's giving me this. Alright guys, so this is how you do an oil change in the N20, N26, F30, F32 chassis, or any other chassis that has the N20, N26 engine. Again, don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, do everything so we can continue to make videos like this. And as always,